So the way we're doing these problems right now, we have to do a lot of guessing. We went through 2, 4, 6, and actually 7 wrong guesses before we finally got it right. Now, if you had started with the 6 and the 4 from the beginning, you would have gotten lucky and you would have gotten it right. But this is kind of a tricky way to do it. So we're going to start learning a new way. We're still going to be using the area model, but we're going to figure out a way that we can fill out these areas from the very beginning. And if we know what these 2 areas have to be, then it's going to be a lot easier to fill out the area model. So what we're going to do is something called MA method. You'll hear me call it MA a lot. And what M and A stand for are multiply and add. So the first example we're going to look at here, basically what we want to do is we want to figure out what 2 numbers will fit this description. What 2 numbers will multiply to get 50 and add to get 27. And so this is going to be a little bit of a guessing game, but it's going to be easier. You're not going to have to go through as many steps or do as much work as we were doing with those area models. So if I want to know what 2 numbers multiply to get 50 and add to get 27, what do you think I could start by doing? Okay. Why do you say 5 and 10? Because 5 times 10 is 50. So what Gabrielle's doing is she's just picking numbers that multiply to get 50, right? Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a list of what's called factor pairs. You guys know what a pair is, right? 2 of something, right? No, not that kind of pair. Like a pair of shoes. All right, so a pair is just 2 of something. A factor pair is 2 numbers that multiply to get what you're looking for. In this case, what we're looking for is 50, right? All right, so let's list the factor pairs of 50. We can always start with 1 and the number, which is 50. Thanks, Claire. And then what else goes into 50? Let's just go in order. Does 2 work? 2 go into 50, Atlas? Okay, so we got 2 in 50. Does 3 go into 50?
No.
Does 4 go into 50? Does 5 go into 50? Yep, 5 and 10. I put 2 and 50. Should have been 2 and what? Sorry about that. And then 5 and 10. How about 6? 6 doesn't go into 50. How about 7?
It's going to be 2 and 25.
How about 8? Does 8 go into 50?
No.
No? How about 9?
No.
How about 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, we already got it, right? Okay, so these are all the factor pairs of 50. Now, I think Aaron's getting upset back there because we've already got the answer here. Aaron, why is it 2 and 25? Yeah. So 2 times 25 is 50. 2 plus 25 is 27. So that pair, that factor pair, also adds to 27, or has a sum of 27. What does sum mean? It's the answer to an addition problem. Good. So all we're doing here, this doesn't have anything to do with the factoring right now. We're going to go back to the factoring and look at how we can do this, use this with that tomorrow. But right now it doesn't have anything to do with factoring. All we're doing is we're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to get 50 and add to get 27. Okay? So let's talk about how we're going to do this. Basically, the way you do this is you start by listing out factor pairs of M. You can do it in order if you want. You can, like I was going from 1 up through however many we needed to get all the factor pairs. You can just kind of pick random factor pairs. That might be less efficient if you don't know all of them off the top of your head. But with something like 12, you don't have to start with 1 and 12 and then do 2 and 6 and then do 3 and 4. But you could start with 3 and 4 or then 2 and 6 or however you want to do it. Okay? Then we're going to choose the factor pair that has a sum of A. So one thing you need to understand here, this M and this A, those are going to be numbers that we're going to give you. So in the first example, we had 50 was M, like this right here. So we started by listing all the factor pairs of 50. And then we chose the one that added the 27. And notice what this says in parentheses. I want you to write that down also, because I know you guys like to save as much work as possible. You can skip to step 2 as soon as you get one that works. So example 2 is the same thing as example 1, right? But I'm not going to do it quite the same. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start listing the factor pairs of 50, 1 and 50, 2 and 27, and wow, how about 2 and 25? And then I'm going to stop. Why do I stop here? Because that's the answer. So once you get the factor pair that works, just put a box around it and you're done. A lot of times when we're doing these problems, at least for now, you're going to see them grouped together where you might have a few m's that are the same. So in this case, for these here, what we can do is we can list all the factor pairs of 24, and we're going to have a different pair that's going to work for each one of these. So what are the factor pairs of 24? What should we start with? How about 1 and 24? Okay, what else? 2 and 12. 3? Does 3 work? 3 and 8. Okay, and 4 and 4 times what is 24? 6. 5? 5? No. 6? Got it already. So these are all of the factor pairs of 24. So since we have them all listed, all we have to do is figure out which ones add to 14, 10, and 25. So which pair adds to 14? 2 and 12, right? So 2 and 12 will be our answer for this one. How about 10? 4 and 6. And how about the 25? 1 and 24. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's do example 4. In fact, I want you to do example 4 on your own. Start by listing all of the factor pairs of 90. There's a little bit of space on the left of the examples where you can list all your factor pairs. I left that space there for you. So list all your factor pairs of 90, and then once you've got them, choose the ones that work for 19, 33, and 21. All right, so how do we get 90? 1 times what? 1 times 90. Does 2 go into 90? 2 times what? 45. What if you didn't know that? What could you do? Yeah, just type in your calculator 90 divided by 2. If you get a decimal, then just skip it. Don't put the 2 down. But if you get a whole number, then use it. Does 3 go into 90? Yeah, 3 times 30. All right, how about 4? 4 doesn't work because if you type that into your calculator, 90 divided by 4, you get 22.5. That's not going to work, right? So how about 5? 5 and what? 18, okay. How about 6? 6 and 15, okay. We're getting a lot of them here. How about 7? No. How about 8? No. How about 9? 9 and 10, okay. How about 10? We already have it, right? So once we get to one we already have, we're done, at least listing the pairs. So let's pick the ones that work. Which pair adds up to 19? 9 and 10. So there's your answer for the 19. Because 9 times 10 is 90, and 9 plus 10 is 19. How about the 33? 3 and 30. And how about the 21? 6 and 15.